Troy, Fall of a City episode to review. Suck it, purists, this is an entertaining blockbuster. Romance gives way to action in a vivid and violent outing. Troy, Fall of a City's first episode wasn't the most dynamic affair, but it did show a decent amount of promise in laying the groundwork. The reaction on social media wasn't kind, though, as classicists and historians took umbrage at the series' butchering of the Iliad and the artistic license taken. Here's a tip: if the anachronistic use of stirrups is going to ruin your enjoyment of a blockbuster Saturday night TV series, then perhaps television isn't the medium for you. This is an hour that probably more accurately depicts what Troy, Fall of a City is all about, as the focus shifts from Paris and broadens to concentrate on the rest of the ensemble, in particular the enemies of Troy. Everyone is having to deal with the fallout of Helen, Belladene's decision to elope with Paris. Louis Hunter, and Menelaus, Jonas Armstrong, is busy gathering his allies to wage war on Troy and reclaim his wayward wife. These allies include Odysseus, Joseph Maul, legendary warrior Achilles, David Giassi, and most significantly here, Menelaus's brother, King Agamemnon, Johnny Harris. Related: who is everyone on Troy, Fall of a City, and how are they related? Johnny Harris makes a strong and immediate impression as Agamemnon, with his quiet charisma paired with a fearsome bellow that demonstrates why he's such a respected leader, even as he seems to need Odysseus' counsel to really get much done. And almost as soon as we meet him, he's placed in the most horrific situation imaginable as the god Artemis demands that he sacrifice his own daughter to guarantee the war effort. It's another twist of the knife that rams home just how cruel the gods are in this world, not that they would actually view it as cruelty themselves. To them, humans are simply collateral damage from the games they play amongst themselves. It's something perhaps best visualized in the war scenes later in the episode, as the gods intertwine their way through the battle lines to bless the soldiers on their side of the battle, unseen by the amassed soldiers. The gods are as fragile and feminine as the soldiers are armored and masculine, and the image of these beautiful waifs on the battlefield is evocative, especially given where the true power lies. It's a welcome new beat in the hoary preparing for battle sequence, and livens up a theme we've seen 100 times before. The series itself takes a similarly knife-twisting approach, editing events so that scenes of Agamemnon's agony are interspersed with Paris and Helen being blissfully in love. It's a devastating juxtaposition, and the hollow, helpless, and desperate look in Johnny Harris's eyes is heart-wrenching. Joseph Maul's Odysseus, meanwhile, is the episode's other main focus, and he quickly shows himself to be both practical and politically savvy, with a weariness that suggests he understands exactly how this world works, and would give anything to not be dragged into it. Elsewhere, Hecuba teaches Helen about makeup and contouring, while Achilles demonstrates what a deadly foe he is with a lethal spear, which is really the first moment of bloodshed that Troy, Fall of a City has depicted, and it's a strikingly gory one. If last week's opener focused on romance, this week shows more of the sort of action that people may have been expecting. If it's all as visceral as this, then we have high hopes. Related: yes, Achilles in Troy, Fall of a City is black, and yes, it's a big deal. What continues to impress about the series is its sense of forward momentum. It's a little over 20 minutes after we meet Agamemnon that he's slitting his own daughter's throat, and yet it doesn't feel rushed or lack impact in the slightest. Many series would have dragged that out to a full-hour story, but Troy, Fall of a City refuses to let anything slow its forward momentum. It's testament to Harris that Agamemnon's plight becomes so affecting given the relative brevity of the story. And despite its grim nature, Agamemnon's plight is not just an excuse for misery, his sacrifice is what makes a peaceable resolution to this debacle impossible. Having sacrificed his own daughter to the goal of recovering Helen, you'd better believe he's going to follow through with it, whether she wants to be rescued or not. A petulant outburst from Paris at the summit doesn't help, but the die was already cast. Throughout the episode, the human characters plead with those closest to them to find them a way out of the messes they find themselves in. Agamemnon to Odysseus, Helen to Paris, but there is no escape from the path the gods have put them on. Historical accuracy aside, Troy, Fall of a City is beginning to forge an entertaining path of its own.